Then the Lord said to Moses, Pharaoh's heart is stubborn. He refuses to let the people go. Go to Pharaoh, meet him on the bank of the Nile. Take in your hand the staff that was turned into a serpent. Say to him, the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, sent me to tell you, let my people go, so that they may worship me in the wilderness. But behold, so far you have not listened. Thus says the Lord, this is how you shall know that I am the Lord. Behold, I will strike upon the waters in the Nile with the staff that is in my hand, and it will be turned to blood. The fish that were in the Nile died, and the Nile smelled foul, so that the Egyptians could not drink water from the Nile, and the blood was throughout all the land of Egypt. 7 days passed after the Lord had struck the Nile. Then the Lord said to Moses, go to Pharaoh and tell him, thus says the Lord, let my people go, so that they may worship me. But if you refuse to let them go, behold, I will send a plague of frogs on all your territory. So the frogs came up and covered the land of Egypt. Then Pharaoh called for Moses and Aaron and said, ask the Lord to remove the frogs from me and from my people. Then I will let the people go. The Lord did according to the word of Moses, and the frogs died out. But when Pharaoh saw that there was relief, he hardened his heart and would not listen to them, as the Lord had said. Then the Lord said to Moses, say to Aaron, stretch out your staff and strike the dust of the earth, that it may become gnats throughout all the land of Egypt. And they did this. But Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he would not listen to them, as the Lord had said. For if you do not let my people go, behold, I will send swarms of flies. Then the Lord did so, and the land was ruined by the flies. Pharaoh responded, I will let you go. Then Moses said, I shall appeal to the Lord that the swarms of flies may depart. But Pharaoh must not act deceitfully again by refusing to let the people go. The Lord did as Moses asked, and removed the swarms of flies. But Pharaoh hardened his heart this time also, and he did not let the people go. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Go to Pharaoh and say to him, 'Thus says the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, let my people go, so that they may worship me. For if you refuse, behold, the hand of the Lord will bring a very severe pestilence on your livestock, which are in the field, on the horses, the donkeys, the camels, the herds, and on the flocks. But the Lord will make a distinction between the livestock of Israel and the livestock of Egypt, so that nothing will die of all that belongs to the Israelites. The Lord set a definite time, saying, 'Tomorrow the Lord will do this thing in the land.' So the Lord did this the next day. But the heart of Pharaoh was hardened, and he would not let the people go. Then the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "Take handfuls of soot from a furnace, and let Moses throw it toward the sky in the sight of Pharaoh. It will become fine dust over all the land of Egypt, and it will become boils breaking out with sores on man and beast through all the land of Egypt." And the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he did not listen to them. However, I have allowed you to live for this purpose, in order to show you my power and to proclaim my name in all the earth. Still, you exalt yourself against my people by not letting them go. Behold, about this time tomorrow, I will rain down the worst hail that has ever occurred in Egypt from the day it was founded until now. Therefore, give orders to bring your livestock and all that you have in the field into shelters. Every person and animal that is in the field and not brought inside will die when the hail falls on them." Moses stretched out his staff toward the sky, and the Lord sent thunder and hail, and fire ran down to the earth, and the Lord rained hail on the land of Egypt. So there was hail and fire flashing continually in the midst of the hail, very severe. The only place it did not hail was in the land of Goshen, where the Israelites were. Then Pharaoh said, "I have sinned this time. The Lord is the righteous one, and I and my people are the guilty ones. Make an appeal to the Lord, for there has been enough of God's thunder and hail, and I will let you go, and you shall stay no longer." But When Pharaoh saw that the rain and the hail and the thunder had ceased, he sinned again and hardened his heart, he and his officials. Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he did not let the Israelites go. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Go to Pharaoh, for I have hardened his heart and the heart of his officials, so that I may perform these miraculous signs of mine among them, so that you may tell in the hearing of your children and grandchildren how I dealt harshly with the Egyptians, and how I performed my miraculous signs among them, and that you will know that I am the Lord. For if you refuse to let my people go, behold, tomorrow I will bring locusts into your territory. They shall cover the surface of the land, so that no one will be able to see the land. They ate every plant of the land and all the fruit of the trees that the hail had left. Thus nothing green was left on tree or plant of the field through all the land of Egypt. But the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he did not let the Israelites go. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Stretch out your hand toward the sky, so that there will be darkness over the land of Egypt, even a darkness which may be felt." They could not see one another for 3 days, but all the Israelites had light in the places where they lived. But the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he was not willing to let them go. Now the Lord said to Moses, "I will bring one more plague on Pharaoh and on Egypt. After that, he will let you go from here. When he lets you go, he will surely drive you out from here completely. Tell the people that both men and women should ask from their neighbors for articles of silver and articles of gold." The Lord gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians. Moses said, "Thus says the Lord, about midnight I am going throughout Egypt, and every firstborn in the land of Egypt shall die, from the firstborn of Pharaoh who sits on his throne, even to the firstborn of the servant girl who is behind the millstones, all the firstborn of the livestock as well. There shall be a great cry of anguish in all the land of Egypt, such as there never was before, and shall never be again." But against any of the Israelites a dog will not even bark, whether against man or beast, so that you may know that the Lord makes a distinction between Egypt and Israel. Moses and Aaron performed all these wonders before Pharaoh, but the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he did not let the Israelites go out of his land. Now the Lord said to Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, "Speak to the whole community of Israel. On the 10th of this month they are to take a lamb for each household. Your lamb shall be an unblemished 1-year-old male. You shall keep it until the 14th day of the same month. Then the whole assembly of the community of Israel is to slaughter it at twilight. They shall take some of the blood and put it on the 2 doorposts and on the lintel of the houses in which they eat it. They shall eat the meat that same night, roasted over the fire, and they shall eat it with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. Now you shall eat it in this manner. You must be dressed for travel, with your loins girded, your sandals on your feet, and your staff in your hand, and you shall eat it in a hurry. It is the Lord's Passover. For I will pass through the land of Egypt on that night, and will strike down all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and I will execute judgments against all the gods of Egypt. I am the Lord. The blood shall be a sign for you on the houses where you are, and when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague of death will not touch you to destroy you when I strike the land of Egypt. Now this day will be a memorial to you, and you shall celebrate it as a festival to the Lord throughout your generations. 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread. On the first day you shall remove leaven from your houses. On the first day you shall have a holy assembly, and another holy assembly on the 7th day. You shall observe the festival of unleavened bread, for on this very day I brought your divisions out of the land of Egypt. Then Moses called for all the elders of Israel and said to them, "Go and take for yourselves lambs according to your families, and slaughter the Passover lamb. You shall take a bunch of hyssop and dip it in the blood which is in the basin, and apply some of the blood that is in the basin to the lintel and to the 2 doorposts. And none of you shall go outside the door of his house until morning. For the Lord will pass through to strike down the Egyptians. And when he sees the blood on the lintel and on the 2 doorposts, the Lord will pass over the door and will not allow the destroyer to enter your houses to strike you. Now at midnight the Lord struck all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, from the firstborn of Pharaoh who sat on his throne to the firstborn of the captive prisoner who was in the dungeon, and all the firstborn of the livestock. Pharaoh arose in the night. Then he called for Moses and Aaron and said, "Rise up, get out from among my people, both you and the Israelites, and go worship the Lord as you have asked. Take both your flocks and your herds, as you have asked, and go, and also bless me." The Egyptians urged the people of Israel to get out of the country as quickly as possible, for they said, "We will all be dead." So the Israelites took their dough before it was leavened, with their kneading bowls wrapped up in the clothes on their shoulders. Now the Israelites had done according to the word of Moses, for they had requested from the Egyptians articles of silver and of gold, and clothing. And the Lord had given the Israelites favor in the sight of the Egyptians, so that they let them have their request. In this way they plundered the Egyptians. Now, the time that the Israelites lived in Egypt was 430 years. And at the end of 430 years, to the very day, all the divisions of the Lord went out from the land of Egypt. It was a night of vigil in honor of the Lord, because he would bring them out of the land of Egypt. So this night is in honor of the Lord, a night vigil for all the Israelites throughout their generations. This is the day which the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it.